Hi everyone, welcome to this full body yoga practice, starting straight away coming down onto our backs and just get nice and comfortable. So take a few moments just to settle in, to arrive into your space. Separate the feet nice and wide, allow them to be heavy out to the sides and turn the palms up towards the sky, walking the shoulder blades underneath you slightly to open through the chest. Start to bring your attention and your awareness to your breath. If it's comfortable for you, breathing in and out through the nose. And allow every bit of tension to release from the body each time you take an out breath. So each time you exhale, seeing if you can soften into your position a little bit more. Just doing a little scan of the body, noticing any areas which may need a little bit of care as you move through your practice. So any areas of tightness or stiffness in the body. Just noticing all these sensations, anything that may be going on for you today. And then bringing your attention back to the breath. Trying to really tap into that smooth, even breath. So inhale, same length as exhales if you can. On your next inhale, just hug the knees up and over the chest. Take a gentle wrap around the shins or the backs of the thighs. Maybe take a little rock from side to side, easing out through the lower back. And then from here, just bringing the palms onto the knees, we'll just take some big hip circles. So sending the knees forward, away from each other, and then drawing them back in and over the chest, keeping the head, neck, and shoulders relaxed. And just reversing that circle. So notice how you're feeling in the hips today. Any areas of tightness, maybe lingering over those spaces. And then exhale, sending the legs out long, reaching the arms back for a full body stretch. If it feels nice, you can interlace the fingers, pushing the palms towards the back of the room. Maybe take a little wiggle of the shoulders. Make sure you're even on both sides. And then if you took that interlace, we'll just separate the hands. So we're bringing the backs of the hands onto the floor and then raise the legs up to the sky, flexing the toes back towards you. Draw the belly in towards the spine, so you're drawing the lower back down to the floor. And then as you exhale, start to lower the right heel down to the mat, keeping the leg nice and straight. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, left leg extends. Inhale, lifting up, and just keep this going with the breath. Try to keep the head, neck, and shoulders down onto the floor. So if you're feeling any fussiness in the lower back, then bring the palms underneath the lower back for a little bit more support. Keep drawing the navel down towards the spine so the lower back isn't lifting off the mat. Just keep this going a few more rounds. You can bend the elbows slightly if you've got quite tight shoulders. And then next time the right leg lowers down, we're just going to lower it halfway and hover the leg here. So this will be quite strong in the abdominals, so you can lift the heel up a little bit if you want to. And remember, you can keep the hands nestled underneath the lower back. Bring that leg back up, extend the left leg forward just halfway. Keep that lower back down to the mat. Keep squeezing in with the core muscles. From here, either staying here or for a bit more of a challenge, bring the right foot to meet the left. So this is really, really strong. Keep drawing the belly in. Really squeeze in with those abdominals. One more breath. And then exhale, squeeze the knees in. This time bringing the hands behind the backs of the thighs, taking a gentle rock from side to side. From here, we're going to come into our rock to squat. So we're taking a rock and roll the length of the spine, coming up and down the mat. So we're going to do this 3 times. On the 3rd time, we're going to come up to land at the top of the mat onto the feet if we can. So give yourself a bit of momentum, come all the way up, see if you can land up onto the toes. Relax the shoulders, the knees are facing forward, so we're not taking them out to the side as we're doing a regular squat. As you inhale, start to lift up, keeping the heels lifted. As you exhale, see if you can slide all the way back down. So imagine your back is up against a wall, you're trying to keep the spine nice and straight. Inhale, lift all the way up, try to keep the heels up so you're staying on the tiptoes. Exhale, slide the back down that imaginary wall. Keep this going. Inhale, lifting up. Relax the shoulders as you come up, but lift the arms. Exhale, come all the way down. Moving with the breath. Inhale, lifting up. This time as you exhale, we're going to lower down just halfway. So keep the heels lifted if you can. Draw the belly in so it's like a chair pose, but you're lifting the heels up high. Relax the shoulders to keep the chest nice and open. Maybe see if you can sink a little bit lower. So really strong in the legs, squeeze the inner thighs together. Exhale, straighten the legs and forward fold. Take a moment here to take a little bend into the knees. Relax the top of the body, shake the head, yes and no, releasing any tension in the neck. Keeping that smooth, steady breath going. And then on your next inhale, bring palms to shins, find a flat back position, look up and lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold down, plant the palms and step back to a plank position, top of a push-up. Draw the shoulders back, find a nice straight line with the body. As you exhale, we're going to lower the knees, chest and chin down towards the floor, keeping the elbows squeezing into the sides of the body, so they're going back rather than out. Inhale, slide through onto the belly. Come onto the tops of the feet, draw the shoulders back, lift through the crown of the head. Exhale, come all the way down, curl the toes under, push back through all fours and then straight back up into downward facing dog. Take a breath or two here. Keep that nice steady breath going. And then inhale, look up to the hands, take a walk or step all the way up to the top of the mat, your choice. Allow the spine to round, the head to drop, forward fold. Inhale, root down to rise up, look up to the thumbs as you come through standing. Exhale, hinge from the hips, come all the way back down. Inhale to your flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, plant the palms, step or maybe hop back to plank. From here, either repeating your knees, chest and chin or moving through a vinyasa. Lowering down just halfway, inhale to your upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a little pedal through the feet, working out through your pose. Inhale, looking up to the top of the mat, small bend into the knees, step or hop forward. Look out to your flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, folding down. Inhale, root down to rise up, looking up to the thumbs. Exhale, fold all the way in, sticking with the breath, one movement. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, step or hop back to plank. Moving through your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin or chaturanga. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. On your next inhale, really root down through the hands and raise the right leg up towards the sky, coming into three-legged dog. Flex the toes down towards the floor so you're squaring the hip. So the right hip isn't coming any higher than the left. Keep firm through both hands, so try not to lean onto one hand more than the other. And then from here, we're going to bend through that right knee, open up the hip, so right hip stacks on top of the left now. Option to stay here or drop down onto the left forearm, see if you can lift that right knee up a little bit higher. Opening the hip a little bit more. Keep the breath nice and steady, and then inhale, come back onto the left hand if you aren't already. Look up to the top of the mat and step that right foot forward, drop the left knee down. Draw the shoulders back to open the chest, and then inhale, raise the arms up, pulling that right hip back. Maybe take the gaze up, relax the shoulders, breathe. And then exhale, hands come down, framing the front foot. Lift the back knee off the mat and bring the sole of the left foot down to the floor. Right hand stays down on the outer edge of that right foot and raise the left hand up, stacking the shoulders, looking up to the thumb. Breathing here, nice steady breaths. Inhale, push into the front foot, come up warrior two. Keep that bend into the front knee. Relax the shoulders. And then reverse your warrior on your next inhale, left hand to left leg. Exhale, hands come all the way down, framing the front foot. Step back to plank and move through a vinyasa, or skip it, just come back to downward facing dog. Taking it straight onto the other side here. So as you inhale, raise your left leg up to the sky, taking three-legged dog on the other side. Flex the toes down towards the floor, so we're squaring the hip for this first one. Again, make sure the chest is nice and straight, so you're not leaning off to one side. And then from here, we'll open up the hip, bending into the knee, sending the left heel towards the right side of the room. Option to come down onto the right forearm if you took that on the other side, but try not to collapse into the shoulder, so really push into that right forearm nice and strong if you've taken that option. Inhale to come back onto the hand if you aren't already, and we'll step that left foot all the way forward, dropping the right knee down. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale, raise the arms up as you pull the left hip back this time. Relax the shoulders, maybe lift the gaze. Draw the belly in. One breath, squeeze the inner thighs together. Exhale, hands come down, plant the sole of the right foot down onto the floor. Left fingertips or palm stays down on the outer edge of that left foot. Raise that right hand up to the sky. So extended side angle. Keep that nice bend into the front knee. Try not to allow the knee to collapse inwards. Inhale, push up into that left foot, warrior two. Relax the shoulders. Make sure the arms are in line, keeping that bend into the front knee. We'll inhale to reverse warrior. As you exhale, spiral the hands all the way down, framing the front foot. Lift the back heel, step back, plank or down dog. Move through a vinyasa if you've come through plank. And then we'll all meet once again, downward facing dog. Take a moment here, pedaling through the feet, bending through the knees. Maybe seeing if you can find a little bit more space to lift the hips a little bit higher, drawing the belly back towards the thighs, allowing the heels to lengthen down towards the floor. On your next inhale, look to the top of the mat. Just step that right foot all the way forward. This time staying off the back knee, we'll come light on the fingertips and then raise the arms all the way up, coming into our high lunge. Draw that right hip back so the right knee isn't coming any further forward than the ankle. Maybe lift the gaze. Draw the belly in, and then as you exhale, we'll start to lean the chest forward so it just hovers above that right thigh, sending the fingertips back. Crown of the head extends towards the front of the room. Find a nice straight line with the body. Inhale, reach the right hand forward as the left hand stays back. Keep the spine nice and tall. Exhale, switch the hands, left hand forward, right arm back. Keep the breath steady and just move between the two, so switching arms. Try and keep the hips exactly where they are, so really squeeze the inner thighs together. They shouldn't be moving at all. Next time the right hand goes forward and the left hand goes back, we're going to spiral down onto the left foot, so the sole of the foot comes onto the floor, and come up into warrior two. So keep that nice bend into the front knee. Relax the shoulders, tuck the tailbone down towards the floor and draw the belly in. Inhale, bring the left arm to meet the right and spin off the back heel so you come back into your high lunge. Option here to stay where you are holding or lift the front heel for a little bit more of a challenge in the front leg. Keep pulling that right hip back so you're not allowing yourself to lunge too deeply into the knee. Keep the breath going, breathing in and out through the nose if you can. Exhale, drop the right heel and step the left foot forward to meet the right, chair pose. Sink down low. Relax the shoulders but keep the spine nice and tall. As you exhale, bring the belly down towards the thighs, sending the fingertips back behind you towards the back of the room. Breathing here, keep sinking down with the knees, draw the belly in. On your next inhale, start to lift the heels off the mat, start to straighten the legs and send the hips up high, sending the arms back behind you. So like you're about to dive off the front of your yoga mat. Keep drawing the shoulder blades onto the back. One more breath, keep the belly drawing in. Inhale, drop the heels, sit low, chair pose. Relax the shoulders. Draw the knees back so they're not coming over the toes. And then exhale, straighten up, bring the hands to the hips and lift that left leg up off the mat. Flex the toes back towards you, bending the knee. From here, either staying here or crossing that left ankle just above the right, flexing the toes back towards the left knee. Staying here or bringing palms together, start to bend through that right knee, coming down into your hip opener here, so standing pigeon. Keep drawing the shoulders back, focus on something in front of you. Actually, the lower you go here, the easier it is to balance, so see if you can sink down a little bit more with each exhale. Keep the gaze fixed. Inhale, slowly come up, try to keep that leg lifted. We're going to send it all the way back and step back into a high lunge. Reach the arms up, pull that right hip back to square the hips. And then exhale, hands come back, step back, plank or down dog. If you're in a plank, move through a vinyasa. Inhale to your back bend. Exhale, downward facing dog. Send the hips up high, take a breath here. We're going to move it straight onto the other side. So on your next inhale, looking to the top of the mat, we're going to step that left foot all the way through in between the hands. Draw the shoulders back. Inhale, rise up, high lunge. Keep pulling that left hip back. Again, just be aware of the knee. Make sure it's tracking over the first toe so it's not collapsing inwards. Maybe take the gaze up if you feel steady. Exhale, start to lean the chest forward, find a straight line with the body. So try not to collapse the chin into the chest, keep the back of the neck nice and long. Inhale, keep the legs where they are, reach the left hand forward, right hand back. Exhale, switch. And then just keep this going with the breath. Really strong through the legs, so push that right heel towards the back of the room. One more to each side. And then next time, left hand goes forward, right hand goes back. Sole of the right foot spins down onto the floor, come up warrior two. So palms face down towards the floor, keep that deep bend into the left knee. Relax the shoulders, draw the belly in. Make sure your back hand hasn't started to fall down, so keep the arms in line. Inhale, right hand comes forward to meet the left, spin off the back heel, come back to your high lunge. Pull the left hip back. Option here to lift through that left heel. Otherwise, just staying where you are, holding here. Keep the breath going, nice steady breaths. And then exhale, drop the left heel. If it's raised, step the right foot up to meet the left, chair pose at the front of the mat, sink low. Draw the belly in, draw the shoulders back. Maybe take the gaze up high. Exhale, lean the chest forward, send the fingertips back, so finding a nice straight line with the spine. Reach the crown of the head forward, and then inhale, lift up off the heels so you're coming onto the toes. So if you can straighten the legs, lean forward into your diving position. Breathe, keep drawing the shoulder blades back and together. And then exhale, sink the heels back down, sit low, chair pose. Relax the shoulders. Inhale, come up through standing, lift the right foot off the floor, flex the toes back towards you. Find your balance, relax the shoulders. And then staying here or crossing the right ankle just above the left knee, bringing palms together and sinking down into your standing pigeon on this side. Keep flexing those right toes back to the right knee so you're protecting the knee joint. Find something in front of you that you can focus on. And keep the breath going. Don't hold the breath. Use it to help you. It's your best tool throughout your yoga practice. Inhale, slowly rise up. Try not to drop that foot. Send the right foot all the way back into your high lunge and then reach the arms up high, pulling that left hip back. Exhale, palms come down, frame the front foot. Step back, down dog or plank. If you're in a plank, moving through your vinyasa. And then exhaling to come all the way back up, downward facing dog, send the hips up high. Taking a breath or two here, just easing back into your pose, making sure that the shoulders are coming away from the ears. Inhale, raise your right leg up to the sky, three-legged dog, flex the toes down towards the floor, square the hip. Exhale, bring the right foot behind the left onto the mat. So it's just coming down onto the mat behind the left foot. And then from here, walk the hands all the way back to the back of the mat. So you're in a forward fold, but your right foot is behind your left. So this will be a little bit of a deeper stretch into the right hamstring. So just breathe into it. Allow the top of the body to be heavy. Again, you can give the head a little shake, releasing any tension that you may be holding in the neck. And then from here, we're going to start to walk the hands forward towards the front of the mat, but we're going to keep the legs where they are. So we're coming into a plank position. So your heels will lift off the mat and you'll just be up on the toes. From here, you're going to walk your left foot all the way over to the right side of the mat as much as possible. So you're separating the feet, coming into as much of a crossover as you can. Then drop the knees down towards the floor, walk the hands back so you're sitting in between the feet. So you shouldn't be sitting on the ankles. Your feet should be either side of the hips. So if you need to, bring a little bit of support underneath you so you can sit up nice and tall, or you can extend the right leg out in front. From here, raise your right arm up to the sky, bend the elbow so the fingertips face down towards the base of the spine, and then gently press the left hand down onto that right elbow to open up through the shoulder. Try and sit up nice and tall, so try not to drop the head forward. Either staying here or bringing the left fingertips underneath so you're finding a bind, maybe grabbing onto the top or maybe towards the fingertips. And either staying here if it's enough or option to fold forward. Allow the spine to round in, the head to drop. Breathing into your stretch. And then inhale, slowly coming back up. Releasing the hands. From here, we're going to take a little bit of a transition onto the other side. So we're going to bring the hands forward, lift the hips, so we're coming onto the outer edge of the feet, then walk the hands all the way round to the right. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. And then we're going to end up sitting back down, opposite side. So your right knee should now be on top of your left. So if you didn't quite make it there, just come to sit down and then cross your right leg over your left, so the knees stack more or less. Again, you've got the option of extending that left leg forward. From here, raise your right hand up to the sky, bend the elbow, fingertips face down to the base of the spine, and then left palm just gently pushing down onto that right elbow, opening the chest. Keep the spine nice and tall, so notice if you're starting to lean forward. An option to take the bind here, so bringing that left arm underneath, grabbing the top or the fingertips. Staying here or finding your forward fold. But if you come into your forward fold, just make sure that you're not lifting the hips off the floor to compensate for the stretch. So we want to keep grounded into our seat. Keep the breath going. And then inhale, slowly rise all the way up, release the hands. And then bringing the hands in front, we're going to come back to our plank. So starting to walk the hands forward, come back onto the knees first, then curl the toes under, lift the knees up. So we're back in our crossed over plank pose. From here, just walk the feet in towards each other slightly, and then walk the hands all the way back. So we're back into our forward fold at the back of the mat. Keep the breath steady. So this time the left foot is crossed behind the right. And just noticing how this feels on the left leg, so a little bit stronger into the hamstring. On your next inhale, start to walk the hands forward. So we're back into a down dog position. Lifting the hips up high and then reach that left leg up to the sky, three-legged dog. Flex the toes down towards the floor, squaring the hip. And exhale, drop that left foot down to meet the right. Regular downward facing dog. Just take one last pedal through the feet, bending through the knees. Noticing how it feels into the legs. And then exhale, drop the knees, sink back to the heels and take your version of child's pose. So arms can be extending forward or swimming back behind you, so the backs of the hands rest on the floor. Knees can be together or wide apart. Just allow the body to sink down. And with each out breath, seeing if you can sink the sitting bones down towards the heels a little more. And if your arms are extended, maybe walking the fingertips forward a little more. So really finding length into the back of the body, but allowing it to be comfortable. So if anything's not working for you, make little adjustments. This should be a really nice, comfortable and resting pose. So if the forehead isn't comfortably on the floor, bring the palms underneath, or stacking one fist on top of the other, resting the forehead on the fists. Just taking one more round of breath here. And then on your next inhale, slowly looking up to the hands, crossing the shins behind you, coming through all fours or swinging the legs to one side, just making your way through seated, and then just taking a little shuffle into the center of your mat. Flex the toes back towards you, sit up tall, reach up towards the sky, lengthen the spine, and exhale, find your forward fold. So bending the knees as much as you need to here if you know you're quite tight in the hamstrings. Keep flexing the toes back towards you. And again, just allow the top of the body to be heavy. So with each exhale, seeing if there's space to fold in a little bit deeper. So using each out breath to see if you can soften into those muscles that naturally kind of grip and hold on. So just easing into your position, using the breath. On your next inhale, slowly roll up through the spine. And then sending the arms forward, we'll continue the journey all the way down onto our backs, reaching the arms up and overhead for one last full body stretch when you arrive. If you want to, you can interlace the fingers, pushing the palms towards the back of the room once again. And exhale, bending the elbows, separating the feet nice and wide. Either staying here, just resting the shoulders down to the mat, or bringing the arms down by the sides of the body. Palms facing up towards the sky, backs of the hands resting on the floor, and walking the shoulder blades underneath you, open through the chest. Allow your attention to come back to your breath, starting to slow it down as the body starts to slow down. Finding a softness in the body, letting go of your practice, whatever did or didn't happen for you today, and just using this time to completely relax and restore. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope to see you very soon. Have a lovely rest of your day.